There we go. I love a bit of Jimi Hendrix. And the wind cries Mary. Hey, everyone. We'll start a few seconds early just because we can now relax a bit now that we have sound going most places. It's always fun when you turn everything on and only half the stuff works. Great way to start the night off. Got a bit of interesting stuff for you tonight. Lots of things happening around the place. We're all hanging out for more information from headquarters. We've got a little bit, but we do know that there will be more information coming. So we are at 7:30. We might just get right into it. We've got a couple of things on the go tonight, so let's get going. Here we are, 15th of June, 2020. I can remember a time when I thought getting to the year 2000 was going to be a massive task, but here we are at 2020, and everything is happening. Great way to be. So welcome, everybody. Great to see people from Melbourne. Louise Creamer's here from the Gold Coast. Coral and Eddie from down the Central Coast. Brad Saravalli's here from Adelaide. We've probably got other people from Adelaide on. Yes, I saw Roger and a few other people there as the list was going up and down. Great to see people on the call. Now, just a quick heads up. We are expressing our view as affiliates only. We do not represent the company, nor do we represent company policy. We are attempting to give you information that we have discovered, and sometimes they're shortcuts that the company doesn't know about yet. So just make sure that you understand we are giving you our opinion. The company does a great job of supplying us with tools that we use. How we drive the tools, that's up to us. So great to see everyone. Let's get going. We still see people coming in through the waiting room. Let's get talking about the wealth principles. These are the 4 things that you need to keep focused on when you're building any business. This is the first time I've had a business where we knew we could actually meet all of these requirements. Pay yourself first. Don't pay yourself last. Pay yourself first. Establish a residual income. I've chased that most of my life. I've licensed technology. I've licensed software, done all those sorts of things. But have a guess what? This time, we've got a residual income. Limit your tax exposure. Make sure you get good advice. Good tax advice. And stay ahead of inflation. Now, we're going to talk about how you stay ahead of inflation tonight. So, without any wandering about, let's get into the video that explains why we're here.
Hi there. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are in this beautiful world of ours. We, the team at Gold Rocks, are here to show you how to become a gold saver, which has far better return than traditional savings methods. Let us show you why you should get started today. When you begin saving, you typically have a goal in mind, whether it be buying a house, paying off debt, studying, starting a business, travel, or maybe retirement. We've always been told to work hard and save. The majority of us have only had the following options: maybe holding your cash in an envelope, a jar, or a piggy bank, opening a cash savings account to earn interest, or applying for a loan. But that means debt, and that's something none of us want to get into. Unfortunately, many people don't understand what saving your money by the traditional way actually means. Cash loses an average of 2% per year through inflation. That means if you saved $100 today, it would have the buying power of $90 in 5 years' time. So then what if you put it into a savings account? The average interest rate across the banking system in Australia and New Zealand is 1% per year. So that $100 would have the buying power of $95 in 5 years' time. A little bit better than the cash in an envelope, but you are definitely losing money. So question, what do they do that you don't do yet? The governments, the banks, and the wealthy. What do they do? Simple, they save gold. Robert Kiyosaki, who we all know as the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant, says, gold is money. JP Morgan, one of the most powerful bankers of his era, whose company JP Morgan Chase still exists today, said gold is money. Everything else is credit. And Alan Greenspan, the former head of the Federal Reserve, arguably the most powerful financial institution in the world, says gold is always accepted. And they are just a few examples amongst many, many others. So why gold? Gold gains an average of 15 to 20% per year. So what if you put your $100 into gold? Well, in 5 years' time, it would be worth at least $175. Would you rather have $95 from your traditional savings account or $175 from your gold savings account? Next question, why choose our gold and why save with us? Our gold savings account is free to open and has no monthly fees. Our source is the global leader in small increment weights from 0.1 of a gram. And at the time of recording this, 0.1 of a gram was about $10 to $11 Australian. This makes gold accessible to all levels of income. No matter who you are, what you earn, you can now do what was once only available to those with wealth. And helping all people get ahead is something our team at Gold Rocks is passionate about. Our gold is 999.9 gold bullion purity. It has state-of-the-art security against counterfeiting, and our source provides free storage until you choose to have your gold delivered to you. Getting started is as easy as getting back to the person who shared this video with you, registering your free gold savings account, and starting to save your money in gold today. We encourage you to do your own research into all of the information we've shown you. And we look forward to helping you save your future in gold with the team at Gold Rocks. Be blessed.
Thank you, Miss Camilla. Let's get on to a couple of our sponsors. And by the way, if you think that what we're talking about tonight is beyond reach, you need to know Camilla's story. Have a look on the Gold Rocks website for her testimonial. You'll understand why she's so passionate and really wants to promote this business. Gold Rocks tonight got two sponsors again. Easy Shopping Cards. As always, Easy Shopping Cards, they've got the great deal where you can buy your groceries and your Dan Murphy's spend and get 2% back in gold. Need couches? Get a plush card. Get some gold back. You need a Carrot Pay account, so make sure that you're a Carrot Bars member. Gold for groceries. Where else are you going to get that? And the other one is Mr. Wilson, the handyman. You will notice Mr. McCloskey and Mr. Wilson have a fetish for hammers. Greg's getting set up as a K merchant. This is where Dan Mack stole his hammer for squashing ants. So give him a call. I'm not sure that Greg will go as far as Adelaide to help Mr. Seravalli build a fence, but give him a call. Wilson's HQ at iCloud.com. You can ask him to give you a quote. And here we go with our Brains Trust segment. I will hand this over to Mr. Dobson, who's going to interview Mr. Brown.
Hello, Mr. Miller. Thank you very much. Yes, I know Greg's quite good with building fences, but I don't think anyone's quite as good as Mr. Seravalli. So here we go again on a Magic Monday, and it's my privilege to introduce Another one of these young guns that are steadily building a business with it here, and doing so with some very sharp people in his team. I love some of the way he thinks, and it's encouraging to work with him. So what I'm going to do is quickly ask Jack a couple of questions. Are you there, Jack?
Yeah, mate.
Excellent. So you're a business owner. What do you do?
I try and make money to survive.
Don't we all?
Do I do a good job of it? No. No, I'm a commercial painting contractor, owner of or director of a PTY Ltd company. I've got a couple of other little ventures which I'm investing some of my time in. One of them being a software company, which could be of use to some of the listeners tonight, but I'm just in the process of actually setting that up on K Merchant. So that's pretty exciting. But predominantly I listen, learn, educate myself, and between the hours of 6 and 6 I whip a Purdy or a Monarch brush around and put some paint on the wall.
You have sometimes quite a big team, don't you? You're not just talking about painting a house with you and one other. I know you often. I think the first time I met you, you were on a huge building site, so you're responsible for more than a couple.
Yeah, try and do a bit of commercial stuff and have some resi stuff on the go. Cash is good, so I like buying gold with the cash that I pay lots of taxes on.
Yes, yes. So that other business of yours, we may do a video on that at some stage, because yes, there's quite a few people I think could benefit with that app. But you're a student of Mike Maloney, and you have been for a while now. The young man, I mean, how old? You're the same age as Mitch, aren't you?
Yeah.
So there's not just Mike Maloney. You sent me some videos of other people. What's the go there? How did you find these type of people at such a young age?
I don't know. I used to, when I was young, dumb, and full of lots of other stuff, I was into music, and it used to be a bit of a thing who had the new latest and greatest underground music. I was into the club scene and trying to find that unearthed track or label or whatever it was. So I got pretty good at click links and little drop tags and clicking on certain things, and that takes you to another window or artist, and then you just follow this massive web of internet like jargon basically, and then sometimes you come across some good stuff and sometimes you don't. And I guess I apply that same principle whenever I'm on the web, surfing the web, as they say. And just sort of trying to discover things that are foreign to me, which spike my interest. And and I just like listen to Robert Kiyosaki, and then he'll talk about Talim Nassim. So then I research him and then start listening to his stuff, and then and then he'll mention someone, and then I start listening to them, and then I just fill my day up of listening to all these I guess I would say highly educated, knowledgeable people who say some stuff that I'm conversant with and some stuff that I disagree with. So I don't know. I'd like to just, yeah, just I like listening, and because I don't know it all, and if I get my listening ears on, I can hopefully learn something. So
Yeah, you're a great student, Jack, and I think it's your entrepreneurial spirit, and probably because you have a business and have that work ethic already, but to be able to diversify, and I know you carry around an ounce of gold most of the time, don't you, as well as all the greens and cash gold that you're buying. It's only a matter of time, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, I guess I would say, not receiving any of the fruits of the affiliate business incentive commission, whatever you want to say, from Carrot Bars yet, but I'm keeping true to the structure and just keep plugging away, and any bit of spare liquidity that I've got, I'll inject it into my well, it's not injecting, I call it converting or transferring your piece of worthless nothing to something that has true value or holds true value. So
that's it. Devaluing dollars.
Yeah, like I talk to a lot of my mates about it, and they feel like they're buying something when they're buying or purchasing cash gold or classic gold, and they're waiting to make a shitload of money out of their purchase, and I'm trying to skew their beliefs and their thought process to understand that, like, the dollar's not worth anything, and you're not actually buying something, you're just transferring one commodity to another, but the other commodity that you're transferring your money to is something that is more positive for your own well-being and greater good, and they just don't get it.
Yeah, mate, that's how most people are. It's not just them, but you're plugging away, and I'm loving what you're doing and looking forward to growing this with you, and it doesn't happen overnight, does it? I mean,
have you got me a K merchant yet, or what?
Well, I'll ask you that in a little bit, because you asked me that. That's my last question to you. But how did you hear about Carrot Bars? Can you tell us a bit?
Mitch Tafe had a a positive gut feeling that I would be aligned with, or I could understand the lingo that he was speaking, and he just approached me and said, do you have a bit of a squeeze at this? And I looked at it and I thought, oh yeah, it's not bad, but I wasn't really, I've been a very bullish investor in my younger years and have blown, a lot of money. So, but I'm not talking, it's not, when you're young, it seems like a lot of money on uneducated investments. And I was super hesitant at first to fully become aware of the whole system, which I'm still not fully aware of. I don't think anyone is, because it's forever growing every day.
Yeah, it's changing, yes.
I really parked my education devil or angel, whatever you want to say, there, and just kept plugging in, making sure I was aware of what was, going on, and to understand the legitimacy of the company and all that sort of stuff. And then I eventually just got sick of you chastising me, and I said, well, whatever, I'll put $3,000 or whatever my original thing was in. And then I looked at my bank statement and I thought, fuck, I've done it again. I've fucking
cut down on those
yeah. Sorry.
No, you're right. I
And
mean, yeah, you didn't pick it up straight away. And
no,
to be fair, I almost gave up on you, to be honest. But well, to me, it just proves that anyone that sometimes we call them exposures, and sometimes it takes 5, 6, 7 exposures to people. And if you weren't Mitch's good friend and someone who you do think outside the square, and you have got that business attitude. So, but I love where you're at the moment, and just finally, what sort of some of the strategies with the crypto and the gold, do you see? Now we're talking about business owners, because a lot of your friends are in the, that you've brought to me are business owners, and we sort of have this plan, don't we? Can you sort of elaborate a little bit on that and how that's working? Because a lot of them are busy and they don't get what we're doing just yet, but we're sort of following a bit of a system there.
Firstly, I just want to apologise about the swear words. I'm a bit of a gutter mouth.
No, that's all right. Just it's not something we encourage on these calls. Okay.
I understand. I'll try. Put a sock in it. But
right, mate. Just don't swear.
I don't really. I believe that acquiring as much KBC as everyone can, as frequently as we can, is a good riskier type investment, because we're all speculating. Like, yes, I strongly believe that this is a very progressive and affluent and smart business, and I feel that it won't let us down, and to date it hasn't. And although the K1 and all that are delayed and whatnot,
they're not quite
would you prefer, like, it's supply and demand? It's general economics. There's obviously high demand out there for these products, so that's a good sign. Like, the company has delivered. Like, you've got K1, Mitch, various other people do, and it just proves legitimacy and whatnot. So I think that it's a good thing to acquire KBC. I've been looking heavily in the nodes realm. They're not available, but understanding my thought process behind that. But through acquiring KBC, you need to firstly accrue or acquire cash gold. So you
hear that, everyone? He's been taught well, hasn't he?
People have this belief that you've got to, prop up $1,000 at a time and buy a whole hunk of cash gold. But everyone every day would have at least their 10 Australian dollars, which is €6.91 or whatever it works out to be,
one Unival
available.
Yes.
That's one Unival. But if you're acquiring that every day, one Unival buys you 1,200 KBC. So if you start now, in 8 weeks' time, and you're stringent and you're resilient, and you remain focused on the end goal, and you keep every day buying that 10 Aussie dollars worth of Unival cash gold, which doesn't seem like a lot, but in 8 weeks' time, if you do the math, right, you can have 10,000 KBC within 10 days of that first release of Unival onto your carrot bit. So, and then it just, every day it'll grow 1,000, 1,200 KBC. But as the business evolves, that KBC to Unival threshold is obviously diminishing. So it won't be a matter of time before one Unival is only buying 500, then 100, and then So
I agree.
Now's the time to stop thinking, oh, it's only 10 Aussie dollars, and you don't want to invest the 3 minutes that it takes you to buy that small amount of Unival. But in 8 weeks' time, you'll start seeing the reward for that. And if, like, I have all my staff salary sacrificing some of their pay each week, so the minimum is €50, so it works out to be 85 Aussie or something, 90 Aussie. And at first, all of them were so like, oh, what's this? And they didn't understand it. And I keep sending them little push notifications with little education snippets and whatnot, and they're all really starting to understand the true value of it. And they're now seeing what gold is doing, because they obviously got some stake in it and they're invested in understanding the whole.
So just to clarify that, you've got your staff every fortnight, or I think it is, buying classic gold.
Every week.
Every week, is it? Buying classic gold. So we know there's a minimum of 1 gram a month that we require to get on the long-term incentive. So these people are doing that and saving in gold, and then some of them are really getting the hang of this, aren't they, and understanding the value of gold, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. At first, all of them were like, what is this? Like, then none of them really got it. And then
it's a great strategy. Love it.
Yeah, and I guess if you're a business owner, you would understand that if your business is propping it up, they're salary sacrificing, you are actually getting paid a dividend just for your staff to salary sacrificing gold. So
yeah, okay, mate. I'm going to have to wrap this up. We're running a bit over time. Love what you're doing there. We also have a strategy with a lot of the business owners as K merchants, and bringing the whole K universe into place with like you say, the phone and the laptop there and the CEM machines. They're a little way off yet, but we're talking to a lot of your young mates. They're not getting it straight away, but we're dripping on them, and it won't be long before we'll have these little hubs of K merchants and this whole. And the last piece of the puzzle, which is the stable coin, which comes into play. And how do you get that? You do the same thing as you just mentioned. Then, so you get your cash gold, you put it on your Carrot Pay, and you turn it into Univeals. So
it's important that when you do buy cash gold, to load it onto your Carrot bit. If you don't do that, it doesn't. You don't automatically think, oh, I've bought cash gold, so it's going to automatically go to Carrot bit. You have to load it onto your wallet, and go on YouTube and research. If you can't get in touch with Derek or Brent, it's pretty simple. Everyone steps it out on there. That's how I learn.
You do. You do a lot of research all by yourself. This is why I say being a business owner, it's a great work ethic. All right, Jack, really appreciate you coming on. I know you're busy. You not long got home before you had to jump on this call.
I'm still driving home.
Watch this guy. There you go. Still driving home. So I don't think it's the most flattering picture that Derek's picked for you, by the way. He's a much better looking bloke than that. But
I sent him a pretty ordinary photo, but anyway.
No, really looking forward to work. Well, I'm loving working with you now. So what's going to happen? I think the back end of this year. Good look out for this guy, and he's part of Mitch's team, and we know where Mitch is going. So, mate, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on tonight and tell us a little bit about you, a little bit more about the younger folks. And, they're out there. These type of people are out there. So without further ado, I might hand this back to Mr. Miller, and thank you again, Jack.
Thanks, mate. Sorry for the swear words.
And thanks, Jack.
See you later.
I've had the pleasure of catching up with Jack a few times. Great person to sit down and have a coffee with. So now some of you will be aware that we had an obligatory social event last Friday, and I thought it only appropriate that we should bring into focus some of the members exhibiting their absolutely best attire and how to get themselves in the swing of the German beer, German gold. And I can tell you, I had a hard time with that lady. She was knocking that mulled wine back like there was no tomorrow. But we did have a fantastic time. We had all sorts of people that came up, and it was a really fun day. So have a look at these party animals. They were just out there, and I've got to tell you that I'm going to put this next picture up, and I suspect my life is in danger. But I got to tell you, it was a riot. We had the best time, and some of these guys, there's Ducky. Look, have a look at that. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 empties, one with a dribble in it, and an empty bottle of wine. It's no wonder his hair went orange. And there's Carolyn with her new glasses. And our mulled wine lady, Miss Hilda, she was into it and having a really good time. Now, this bloke, he got a little bit carried away. We had to told him to hold on to his shoulders for a while and calm down. And then here's an exercise in leadership. You've got to understand, if you're going to get dragged into something that's going to make you look as silly as possible, get a chair and a beer, and then you can be comfortable. That's what you got to understand. That's why leadership. See, the Scot in the back there, young Andrew, he's at least leaning up against the wall, but he brought his beer with him. We did have a fantastic time. Now, this lady, I know, Helen, she was a little bit carried away. The bells kept ringing. Now, wait for this one. Wait for this. We had to ask her to get down off the table. She had 1 glass of white wine, and she was into it. Now, if you have a look at the look on Dougie's face, I'll show you why he looked like that. He was just realising what the hat was that he was going to have to wear. And there we were. It was an absolute blast, and nobody enjoyed themselves. It was a very sad day, I think. But we have claimed a date for Saturday the 31st of October to return and have a serious party, because that's the end of October and we are going to celebrate Oktoberfest. And if that doesn't work, well, I had someone ask me, did everyone enjoy themselves? And I can honestly say, if you were there and you didn't enjoy yourself, you've got a serious problem because everyone was laughing. And I think it's a very long time since I've laughed so much in one day. It was really good. So now I'm going to hand over to Ms. Phillips, who's going to give us a rundown on some of the compensation plan. And tonight she's going to talk about direct commission. Here she is.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Derek. It was a great day. And if you're in Queensland, anywhere near the end of October, 31st, it's a Saturday. Barbara there and Klaus, fantastic team. So Barbara organises all that fun entertainment and Klaus does the food. And actually, none of those photos showed the food. The food was outstanding as well. So it's just a great day. If you're up in Queensland or heading in this direction, try and make it on the 31st of October and come with us to the next one. So this is an ongoing session about the compensation plan and looking at direct commission. So this is one of the income streams. It's probably the easiest. And this is you registering people. So direct commission, promote Carrot Bar's business packages and earn up to 10% for every new package sale in your first uni level night. So that means you're direct people. So the direct level, so this means that anyone you register and any item they purchase, you'll earn 10% of whatever they purchase. Then the next level down will be, so that's your direct people sponsoring someone, you'll earn 3% of what they are earning, and then the third level down is 2%. So if you just go back, please, Derek, we just want the first level. Thank you. So here we are in euros, and this is an example. So just going from left to right, multi-package number 2 is 180 euros. So 10% of that is 18 euros in your pocket. A multi-package 4 is 595 euros. That means 10% is 59.5 euros for you. Multi-package 5, 2,200 euros is 220 euros. Now, if you do a euro to Australian dollars, that's actually a nice, tidy little payment that you'll be receiving. And the multi-pack 6, 3,450. So 3, 4, 5, I'm just putting it into my app here. That's over $500. That 345 euros is over $500, nearly closer to $600 in Australian dollars. So let's go level 2. So that's people you register. This is people that they register, and then they not the same packages. Multi-package 2, you'll receive 3%, which is 5.4 euros. So that's €5.40. Multi-package 4, 17.85. Multi-package 5, 66. And multi-package 6, 103.5. So it's well worthwhile you registering people and then helping them to register people. Let's look at the third level, please. Thank you. So multi-package 2, you'll get 2% of that, which is 3.6 euros. Going across from left to right, 11.9 euros, 44 euros, 69 euros. So that's still quite a substantial amount. 69 euros in Australian dollars is over $100. So that's your third level down 2%. That's what direct commission is all about. Okay, so this is where you actually look for your personally sponsored people. So you go to team statistics, which is one of the tabs, drop down to dual system. So there we go. This particular person has not registered anyone, so 0, but you'll see them there. There is actually a tab from team statistics. There's a personally sponsored tab as well, and you can see all the people that you sponsor, their email address and their phone number. It's pretty cool. So if you do happen to have one big leg, this is the perfect way to even them up. And what I was talking about last week is the cycles and the dual team payments. So the way you create another team is to start registering people. So there's your left hand for this particular person, left hand, more for your other team, your left hand team there. This is really exciting. Now, I've included this because of our second wave of, after Brent and Roger a couple of years ago, the second wave of people are just starting to hit their 1-year anniversary. So I'm seeing a pattern with the incentives that are coming from corporate. This was the first incentive that we knew about, and this was when Brent actually met Harold at the Dubai incentive. Then there was the Amsterdam incentive where Jan and I went. Then the Madrid incentive at the end of the year, and quite a few people actually had tickets to go there. It was very close to Christmas and we didn't end up going. But they were 3 in 2019, and we've already had 1 incentive in 2020. So I'm going to extrapolate out and figure that there's going to be an incentive soon. And these incentives are all about your direct registrations. So the beauty of directly sponsoring people is, 1, you can win some of these incentives. 2, you get a direct commission onto your Carrot Bars MasterCard. And the 3rd is you're building other teams and building width and getting some cycle payments and some dual team payments. So all in all, registering people is a great idea, and Carrot Bars pays well. That's, I think, the last of my screens for a direct commission.
Thank you, Carolyn. Okay, we'll try and do that every week, folks. We'll just pick a little piece of the compensation plan and add to it. Let's get in with a market warning here. If you're transferring money to purchase gold overseas, please be considerate of what you tell your bank. They do not like you buying gold or cryptocurrency. And if you've done a gram a month on your ANZ debit card that gives you rewards, that's fine. You'll get away with doing little bits. You try and do $20,000. Last week, I had my card blocked twice, and I was doing $1,000 transactions. I think we added up this afternoon, I was with Graham, between Jan McCloskey, Graham Duck and myself. There's about 15 or 20 blocked accounts, blocked cards, closed accounts. Please understand, the banks do not like you buying gold. No need to be afraid of them, because we've got the gold, baby. I can tell you that every week someone calls me and says they've blocked my card. Just make sure that you understand the risk that you take when you go outside the square. And it's not really a risk. No one's actually lost their money. They've lost a market opportunity a couple of times. And we're still trying to get some money back from some of those cards. But please be aware. Okay, let's look at some great and wonderful news. Let's talk about politics. The Australian government tells us that our unemployment rate is a whole 6.2%. And wow, if you look at Roy Morgan Research, they've come up with 24.5. There's a little bit of a difference in those two numbers. That's just the way the government counts if you have a job or not. So make sure that you understand what you see in the press is managed information. I've got another really good example of that coming up now. Here's the US employment news. And you can see that the unemployment rate just skyrocketed there in 2020. But last week, if you're on the call, you'll know that we heard from the American president that they had added a bunch of jobs. Well, if you actually read the headline today, you will see that it was an unemployment rise of 2.4 million, not an employment rise. So not only did they modify and handle the information, they just left the unword off the front. Just saying. And what about oil? Well, West Texas Intermediate crude, one of the basic oil types that comes out of America. Their July contract, they're back down to $34.75, $34.75 a barrel. And yes, Kate, I've heard it called fake news. So it's down $4 today. You can see that when the government started to announce that they were going to release a lot of the lockdowns, the price of crude went up, and now it's going back down again because we're not actually using crude as fast as we thought. Now, here's one for you. Does anyone know where Cossack oil comes from? Just type in if you think you know where Cossack oil comes from. This is a test. Dan McCloskey, you should know this. Okay. Cossack oil comes from Australia. Now, if you can tell me how Australian oil got labelled Cossack, I'll be very happy. That's the price chart for the last month for Australian crude oil, $35.43 a barrel. And it's going back down again because oil has been seriously overpriced for a while. But the point of me showing you all this information is it's a key part of what makes our economy work. And while ever all these ups and downs are going on, gold, we got gold, baby. Have a look at this snapshot. This was from ITM Trading in America. And she does a really good job, Lynette Zhang, analyzing the market. And that was one of her headlines recently. That was a few days ago when the NASDAQ crashed in America. She's talking about warning people for years. Here she's talking about what the government's doing in America. They're printing money, pushing it out. And her point is they're desperate. They're trying to do anything they can. And she's even talking about here that the food supply in America is in serious trouble. Lynette Zhang has bought a property on the outskirts of Scottsdale. She grows enough food to feed over 100 people on her property. That's how bad she thinks the economy is going to be. And that's what she thinks is happening to the economy. It cannot recover. So what do you think she promotes? Gold and or silver, but mostly gold. In fact, recently I heard her interviewed and she was asked, why is it that my financial advisor only recommends percentage of my savings, like 5% of my savings in gold? Why would he do that? If your gold is so good, why wouldn't I have more of a percentage of my savings in gold? And she looked straight at the camera and said to this guy, that's because your financial advisor is an idiot. So, I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, here we go. Now, sometimes I use this gentleman. I take a couple of clips. Here's one from 3 days ago. He said, stock market's about to crash. This is what he did 8 hours later. Yep, it crashed. Now, he doesn't really have an insight into a lot of the technical stuff behind the market, but he has a really basic view of what controls it. And he's been right more times than he hasn't. In fact, a lot more times than he hasn't. And I just find those sorts of things, when I look down through the internet and see those sorts of headlines, I know that we are in the right place. We are heading in the right direction. So welcome to 2020, you tinfoil hat wearing aficionados. Don't panic, Jonesy. We got gold, baby. And here's what the market's doing. Gold performance in Australian dollars. Yep, it's up there. We have hit very recently, a few days ago, we hit an all-time record price-wise. At the moment, it's averaging 29.72% annual return. Remember, Camilla said it averages 15 to 20%. There's the number today. Well, last year, it's averaged 29.72%. That's pretty hard to argue with. But watch this space, because there's a lot of people predicting that it can go to 25,000 US an ounce. So let's talk about the money system. This is what happens to your money every 20 years. At 2.2% inflation, you're losing 54%. And that's what you could do if you had that money in gold. 1920, a kilo bought a top-of-the-line Ford, and in 2020, a kilo gets you a heap of change to get a top-of-the-line Ford. That's confronting. It means that whilst gold has gone from $450 in 2000 to $2,400 today, your cash lost 54.28% of its buying power. What's next? Set up a free account. Get involved. Get back with a person that sent you here and get a free account. If that's the worst thing you do, just get a free account. You can do it as a customer or an affiliate. It's free to do both. There's no commitments involved if you're an affiliate. But if you decide to do something later, if you're a customer, you're going to pay full price, or you can buy it at wholesale. Same thing. Exact same gold. It opens other income streams. There's more products, and you can trade gold and crypto if you choose to. And there's more of that coming. Tonight, I wanted to just touch on this. This is from the goldrocks.me website. If you've got people that aren't getting their emails, send them your Gold Rocks link. And it will look like that. goldrocks.me/refer/your Carrot Bars username. And then they will get to this point. Once they've hit enter, you'll see that the address changes. That's a bit of tricky stuff that Mr. Smith does in the background. So now they're at the landing page where the Kate Longley video is, and you can then get them to join a number of different ways. But if they're already a Carrot affiliate, they need to go to the top of the page and click register. Go down here and click Gold Rocks member account. When they get on that, it will give them one of those Gold Rocks links. And I can tell you, it's a lot easier to remember your Gold Rocks link than it is your Carrot Bars affiliate link, and it will do exactly the same thing. Okay, there are some affiliates with K1 phones for sale. You can register your interest if you'd like one, save time, ship it around the country, not around the world. They are available and ready to go. I know there's a couple in Adelaide, there's a couple around the place. So make sure you get your money off the MasterCard. If you have a MasterCard and it has euros on it, you have about a day and a half to get it off. Give us a call if you need help with that, but basically you need to get that money off the card. Are you listening, Miss Louise? Here's some corporate news. When the Carrot Pay option opens, make sure you understand what you're going to do. Think through what you're going to do. Carrot Pay will have Unival tokens in it. If you get some coins into Carrot Pay early, you will own those tokens for the rest of your life. And you will get commission every time someone uses Carrot Pay to pay for something. Be prepared for the swap. Be prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, that's us for tonight. Do we have any questions? You can unmute or type in the chat box and we will do our best to answer them. The hard questions I send over to Jan McCloskey. The easy one Dan takes care of with his hammer.
Hey, Derek.
Yes, sir.
Just a quick on that Unival. How about next week we do a live purchase of Uni? I've got some Unival there that's ready. It's past its 8 weeks. How's that sound? We show everybody how that works because I think it's really important.
If it works.
Yeah.
It might not be turned on yet.
No, I did some the other day, so I'm sure it will.
You can put Univals into Carrot Pay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
No. I transfer it from Carrot Pay onto the exchange.
Yep, you can do that.
Yep.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's something we'll do a live demo next week. Great work, everybody. If you just keep getting people in front of this business, they're going to realize that what they're looking at in the world is everything we've talked about. Goal 20-6, that's the password for tonight. Who exactly is that? Can you type in there, please? The bonus codes are when you go to My Gold on the white page, on the Carrot Gold page. Drew, there you are. It's on the white page. Click on My Gold, and on that menu that drops down, you will see digital bonus codes. That's where they all are. Excellent. Yes, we look forward to these meetings now. Let's hope that we get all this news as quickly as possible. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have a golden week. Roger, we'll see you on the golden beaches of the world with Joe. And make sure that you all understand you got gold, baby.
Derek, Kate's got a lesson there.
Kate, do you know what the MB status expire on our dashboard means? Oh, a matching bonus. Yes. So that's something that you get with the new packs. So when the matching bonus expires, it will not make any difference unless you've got a whole bunch of people in your team that are earning bonuses, and you will get a matching 5% down 7 levels. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, because in a few weeks we're going to show everyone how to renew their packs using a handful of KBC on DTP. Okay, you're going to have to get a bit more interesting than that, Brent.
Dual team payouts.
Dual team payouts, yes. Well, no, we don't know what the new card is yet. Well, we know what it is. We don't know when it's coming out, but it's not very far away. They're talking about telling us on Thursday morning. We'll find out. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for coming along with us tonight. Really enjoy it when we get a lot of people and we get a few people involved, and it's fun. Great to see you all. We'll see you on the golden beaches of the world.